Hello, balance over perfect, fans, friends, all of the above. My name is Kim Kelty Gorski and I am your host, and I'm excited to bring more energy into your life, more mindfulness, and just a little bit more clarity to your day. And that's what brings me to my subject today. 3 things to free up your mind. I find this is the hardest, if not one of the hardest things for women to do, is free up their mind, because we have so much racing through it. We have so many to-dos. We have all these self-limiting beliefs that just creep up when we don't need them, when we don't have time. And so I want to give you 3 tips on how to really decrease that today, because this is something that is wasting you time, and it's actually stealing from your happiness. And that's one of the biggest things that we have fall wayside, is our happiness. We think that it's just supposed to be like that. It's supposed to just be So let's get right to it. So the number one thing that I do is declutter. And I'm not talking about like decluttering your home, all these kind of things. Declutter your mind. And so I'm going to pinpoint one thing that has been probably on your to-do list, but you have not been doing. So, you know all those like pesky things that you got to get done? All those things that are unsexy to do, that are daunting every single time that you do them. The bills, do the dishes, clean out this closet. You have to take care of all those doctor appointments that you have not been going to. Those things are weighing you down. And what I mean by that is, like, you may think about it once a day, twice a day, once a week, once a month, but it's giving you that less of confidence in yourself that you can get it done, because you keep on pushing it off. So I have something going on right now, this Easy Pass. So what I do to go through tolls, I love Easy Pass, it's amazing, but it has been on the back burner. My battery died. I sent it out. I got it back. It's still not activated. And they're telling me that I'm going through things illegally. I'm like, no, I have not. I have this Easy Pass. And so get that on there. That's one of the things that I have on there. Decluttering just things that are just daunting. So what I'm going to recommend to you guys is, I talk a lot about doing brain dumps, and what that really is just getting it all out. Make a page that is all of this, because what you're going to start to see on there are things that frankly only took you about 3 to 5 minutes to do. And yeah, some of them are going to take as long as you think they're going to take, especially when you have to deal with customer service. But these are the kind of things that are stealing away happiness, they're stealing away joy, and stealing away a freedom of your mind. So time is always an essence to people. Everyone is always wondering where they can get more time. This is the kind of stuff that does inhibit you, because you're running and doing all these things and you're thinking about everything that you haven't done. But you still have done so much. So recognizing that you've done a lot today, you did your best today, now it's time to just free it up. Because we all have this, but yet we're all just walking through life just thinking that we're not enough and we're not doing enough and we don't have time. And when people say they're busy, I get it. They probably are. But are you more busy in your mind, or in your to-dos and your activities and things that make you happy? Because those are a big difference. I work with a ton of women on this concept, and the biggest thing that people say to me is, I don't have time, I'm bad at time management, I can't organize. And what's interesting about that is that I talk about everything before getting into the really cool to-do list and all these awesome planners, everything like that. I talk about what's going on with their life. How are they feeling about themselves? What's coming up for them when they wake up? What's holding them back during the day, and what's making them not feel that they can rest their heads at night? That's what's taking up more time. That's what's holding them back from transitioning to another project. So think about that next time that you think you don't have time. So let's declutter it out. Get it out. Get it out. All right, next thing that's helping me a ton to free up my mind. Clear communication. Clear communication. This is something that I work on very often, because communication is a very tough one for me. And I'll give you a quick background of why. I grew up, for majority of my life, almost mute. And no, I was not, I was not deaf. I was, I did not have any of that going on, thank God. But, and I look at it as that I was not a good communicator. I did not have a voice, so I did not really speak on my opinion. So I was kind of the, yeah, that's awesome, go with the flow, and not really have a choice. So when it came to my late 20s, now early 30s, communication was kind of like hard for me to talk about. It was very hard for me to be direct, and it was very hard for me to not always say I'm sorry. And it's like, why am I saying sorry? And it's because I come from the submissive. I come from, oh no, I feel bad. More or less, it's like, no, stand up for what you believe in. Hey, that was a miscommunication. I own that. I take responsibility on that. I'm sorry for that. I'm not sorry that it just didn't mess up. But so my point is that the clearer we can be with our conversations, the more we can free up our mind. I was talking to a woman this week, and she was worrying so much about this conversation at work. And she was saying, it's been hard on me, it's been weighing on me, but I can't do it. And I said, but how have you been feeling prior? How have you been feeling when you haven't spoken to them? Well, I can't really sleep. I'm thinking about it all day. And I said, well, then what's the alternative? Because the alternative is you still feeling like crap, no resolution, and then the flip side is you having that open, clear conversation and honest, that's gonna set your mind free. So you can either choose one of the hard conversation, or the hard truth that you're gonna have to constantly think about this until it is resolved, or it is out in the open. The worst thing people can say is, no, I don't know, this is not the right thing, blah, blah, blah. But at least you guys know where you stand. And I think that's a big piece to our puzzle of why people are walking through life unsure. Why people are wondering if people care about what they did, think, dress, be. It's because of communication. And so if you can take a piece from my story today, be clear. If you don't know, ask. If you are unsure, ask. And if you just really want to share your opinion, share. And my last piece to this is really understanding you. And I say that's so funny and so deep. But understanding you are your best friend. And if you're not on the line and saying like, Kim, I'm not my best friend, I don't really care about myself like that. Well, guess what? The last negative thing you thought of, think about that for a second. What was the last negative thing you thought of about yourself? I'll share you mine. Am I ever going to stop messing up? I did it yesterday and the day before. Came up both times. And I said to myself, Kim, would you say that to your best friend? Would you say that to someone? So why is that okay for you to say it to you? Because what happens when we say these things to ourselves is we put ourselves in this, I'm not enough. I'm going to give myself these self-limiting beliefs, and I'm going to hold myself back. I'm getting better, then I'm getting out of it quicker. I'm not living in that. I'm not living in it for hours or weeks or months, and gosh, for years. I know that happens. I've been there. And so what I always say to myself when we think about these self-limiting beliefs and all these things that are holding our mind back, our happiness back, our freedom back, our everything back, would you say this to your best friend? And so majority of you are like, no, I'm a pretty cool person, I would never say that. Some of you are like, yeah, like I'm gonna tell her how it is. But no, would you say it to your best friend? And that's where we gotta start becoming our own best friend. Check yourself before you say something like that again, because the second you would say that to your best friend, you know that'd be hurtful. Why are you any different? Why should you compromise? Because you are with you 24/7. There is no way around it. So get knowing yourself, be more in tune with you, and become your own best friend. I hope that has given you some mindset tips to really free your mind, because this is something that a lot of us struggle with. but not a lot of us talk about it. So here is just that little dose of peace that you're going to need, and that grace and that action plan. So I hope you have peace for yesterday, grace for today, and a plan for tomorrow. Mwah. Bye, guys.